Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Valuable Talks with Anna. I am here with Lorik Ingram. He is the founder of Give and Save 365. This company is dedicated to teaching people how to add value to their lives and the lives of others. He's the author of Easy Money Management Guide, the Easy Money Management Weekly Journal, Live Life Like a Pro, and Student Loan Exit Plan. His last book was part of his commitment to helping families pay off their student loans early. Today, though, we will be talking about his first book, Easy Money Management, and how to properly manage your personal savings account. In your book, you also discuss knowing that you needed to save money and already having the knowledge of saving money, but not doing it. Why was it so hard?
Just tell your listeners that if you go to giveandsave365.com right now, you can follow along. It'll show you, there'll be some links there to the books I've published, and you'll get a chance to know what I'm about, because people multitask anyway, so that'll give them a chance to know it. But here is my book. I wrote it so it would be simple. So you ask, why is it so hard for people to start? Well, part of what I learned in my journey was that many times people don't start because either they're overwhelmed by other things in life, or when it comes to talking about money, they're overwhelmed by talking about money. Many of the seminars I went to, they say, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go home and write down every penny you spend. And then nobody does it.
Right.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go home and read this book. And I tried that. I asked 100 people to read a book, and out of that 100 people, 3 people read it. So a lot of times it's the follow through. What I did was develop a plan that could be done quickly. Okay. And when you left my session, you already had a plan of action to start right then. It didn't require you to go home and write a bunch of things or anything like that. No. So that being said, which is why I wanted you to go to the website, because on that website, there's a link that says blog.
Okay, link that says blog.
And if you click on that blog,
yes,
and scroll down, and you'll see that there's a card there. And that card explains the 3 fundamental ways that people handle money.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And so what I had done, so my book actually grew out of that card, believe it or not.
Okay.
I was asked one year to speak at my church to a youth group. And we had these breakout sessions. And they had gangs, date rape. So what I suspected was that when people came, I'd have about 5 minutes to sell them or not. So 5 minutes to get their attention. And I wanted them to be able, because with all the information that was coming at them, I wanted them to be able to hear this and take it and remember it. Right. So we're going to do this experiment with you right now.
Okay.
I'm going to go over this card, and then I'm going to let you explain it back to me.
Okay.
The good luck I've had with this has been that whenever I've done it, anybody I've talked to, years later, they still remember it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the three styles of money management that I talked about, there's going broke, there's going into debt, and there's getting ahead. We're going to start with $100, and it's this simple. The going broke of money management works this way. You make $100 a week, and you already know that when payday comes, you're spending your $100.
Right.
Every dime, and that's the expression, living hand to mouth, week to week, paycheck to paycheck. Right. And many people function that way. They live for a payday. And on payday, they go, they buy their groceries, things like that, and then they're only good until the next payday.
Right.
The second way, which is actually worse, is you live in debt. So even though you know you're going to make $100, hey, you borrow $10. So now when payday comes, not only do you don't just owe 100, you owe 110. So when your payday comes, your payday is actually not 100, it's 90. So that's the second way people live. And the last way, which is the better way and the way that I put forth in my book, is if you make $100 and you know when you start that of that 100, you're going to hold on to $10 for yourself in a savings account somewhere else, you're going to give away, in my case, I think you ought to give $10, but that one is not hard. That's my personal belief in terms of that. But even if you don't, so if you don't want to give, don't give, but at least save the $10.
Right.
If you do that, now when you move into your next week or your next pay period, you already have $10. So even though you make 100, you have 10 that you have held on to, and that continues to build. I explained it to your cousin this way once when she was a teenager. I told her, your cousin Raina, I told her, listen, if you spend every dollar you make, fast as you make it, at the end of the day, you still will not have everything you want. If you train yourself to save just 10% of what you make, at the end of the day, you won't have everything you want, but you won't be broke.
Right.
That's the big difference.
Right.
Okay. I don't have a long spiel about whether you should get your hair done, whether you should buy this type of sneaker. That's up to you.
Right.
All I say is start out with the mental mindset that you will spend less than you make.
Right.
And if you can train yourself to do that your entire life, you will always be ahead.
Right.
Now, that's your 5-minute course. Now explain to me your 5-minute course. Teach me. Gee, Anna, I want to learn about finances. Can you teach me in 5 minutes the 3 ways to manage money?
Yes. So the 3 ways to manage money. First you have going broke. So when you make $100 and then you have these bills and everything, and you go out there and spend all your money on your bills, and you don't have the $100 at the end of the day. Then the second one you have is going into debt. That's where you have the $100, you spend the entire $100, then you spend an additional $10. So now you're already going into the next week in debt. And then the third one is getting ahead, where you get the $100, you put $10 in your account. Well, essentially put $20 in the account, but I agree with you that you should give $10 to somewhere, donating, church, something. But either which way, if you save it, then you're going into the next week with $20, and you have the $80 that you're going towards bills and everything. So basically, you're telling me to analyze all of my bills, and no matter what I have at the end of the day, to make sure I put something in my savings, because going into the next week, I will have that in my savings. It could be an emergency plan, savings plan, some kind of just savings funds for a rainy day or something. That's what I got from the 5-minute spiel.
And trust me, you will remember that going
Yes.
forward. And that is my brother who taught me. My grandmother had this saying, and her saying was, if you make $1, save a dime.
Right.
If you make $1, save a dime. If you can instill that belief in yourself your entire life, you will always be the person who is ahead.
Right.
And it starts that way. If you use one of those other 2 habits, you're going to always be the person struggling.
Yeah.
And it's that simple.
I agree.
Now, for those who are watching, if they've gone to my website, giveandsave365.com, if you click on my blog and scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see 2 things. You'll see the card that gives you a graphic of what you just explained. And below that, you're going to see a link. Click on Acorns, and does a screen come up?
Okay. Get started.
They will, right. So you can now open an Acorns. Right. You can open an Acorns account today.
Okay.
And what I would recommend, so your call to action here
Yes.
will be, because I know you have a new one. Your call to action would be to open an Acorns account right now, so that you can start putting away $1 a day for your child.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
That's perfect.
So there it is. So now you have overcome the barrier of whether or not you should invest. You can start investing today.